Imagine being trapped underground for 10 days and no one even knows you're missing yet. It's 2006 and Elizabeth Shoaf is 14 years old. She lives in a small town called Lugoff, South Carolina, the kind of place where everybody knows everybody. Elizabeth isn't the kind of kid who looks for trouble. She's the middle child, a little shy, a little stubborn. She loves hanging out with her friends, talking about school dances, clothes, her future. But on a random afternoon in September, she decides to walk home from school instead of taking the bus. It's only about a mile, a walk she's done before plenty of times. But that day, a man is waiting for her. Vincent Filiot walks right up to her, wearing a fake badge, says he's a police officer. "Hey," he calls out, casual, "we got a report about some kids setting fires out here. Mind if I ask you a few questions?" Elizabeth freezes. She's not stupid. She knows about stranger danger, but something about him seems official. She says, okay. And just like that, she's trapped. Because the second she agrees, he grabs her by the arm and drags her into the woods. She fights, she screams, but who's gonna hear her in the middle of nowhere? He marches her deeper and deeper into the trees until the sunlight can barely break through the branches. And then he shows her where he's been living. A bunker hidden underground made of wood and dirt and tarps. Inside the bunker, it's suffocatingly hot. It smells like wet dirt and mildew. There's no light except for a flickering lantern. Vincent chains Elizabeth to him at night like a dog. During the day, he lets her move around, but only within the tiny underground prison. She tries to stay calm. She doesn't scream. She doesn't fight, at least not anymore, because Elizabeth realized something early on. He wants a reaction, so she gives him nothing. When he talks, she nods. When he rants about how women are liars and the government is after him, she listens. Sometimes he sits next to her and talks for hours. She doesn't believe a word he says, but she pretends to care because she knows it's the only thing keeping her alive. Meanwhile, above ground, Elizabeth's mom realizes something is wrong almost immediately. She reports her missing, but the cops, they assume she's just a runaway. They don't issue an Amber Alert, they don't search the woods, and days pass. Elizabeth knows she has two choices: wait and die, or outsmart them. So she starts planting seeds. "You know," she says casually one day, "if you let me have my phone, I could text my mom, tell her I'm safe, they'll stop looking for me." Vince thinks about it. He's paranoid, he doesn't want attention, so he gives her the phone. But here's the thing. He doesn't realize that even sending a text or making a ping can help authorities triangulate their location. Elizabeth doesn't blow it. She doesn't text, "Help, he's kidnapping me." No, she's smarter than that. She just sends a few vague messages, enough to raise suspicion, like, "Hey, I'm okay, don't worry." It buys her time. Meanwhile, tech experts start tracking those pings. On day 10, it's sweltering hot underground. Elizabeth can feel herself getting weaker when suddenly there's footsteps, dozens of them, dogs barking, men shouting. Vince jumps up, panicking. "You did this," he screams at her, grabbing her wrist so hard it feels like he'll snap it. She says nothing. He throws open the bunker hatch and runs. Elizabeth doesn't move for a second, terrified it's a trick. Then she hears it. "Elizabeth Shoaf, are you in there?" It's the police. She scrambles out, hands shaking, voice hoarse from screaming. I'm here." They pull her out of the dirt, out of the darkness, and into the blinding sunlight. She's alive. Vince Filiot is arrested within hours. Turns out he'd been planning to abduct more girls. Elizabeth was only the beginning. She later said, quote, "I stayed alive by pretending to be his friend. It wasn't luck that saved her. It was her mind." Today, Elizabeth lives quietly. She's a survivor, not a victim. And when asked how she kept going in that bunker, she said, quote, "I just kept thinking, I'm gonna get out of here no matter what. I'm going home."